The sky was their army in Interstellar Sleep Archives bedtime story. Welcome to the Interstellar Sleep Archives. Tonight, we journey deep into the Delta Quadrant, to a civilization that once measured greatness not by peace, but by conquest. A people who first built their empire with ships and soldiers, and later discovered a far more terrifying weapon, the stars themselves. So settle in, fellow traveler, dim the lights. Let the hum of the cosmos surround you, and drift with me into tonight's tale. And now, without further ado, the Interstellar Sleep Archives presents. The sky was their army, long before the Etanians became feared for worlds emptied beneath false celestial disasters. They were known for open war. The Etanians were a formidable humanoid species from the Delta Quadrant, tall, powerfully built, strong and imposing in both stature and presence. Their features were sharp and severe, ridged with hard and bony crests that gave their faces a commanding, almost carved appearance. They dressed in severe black uniforms that seemed to absorb the light around them, their silhouettes as dark and uncompromising as their doctrine. Where other species saw diplomacy as strength, the Etanians saw expansion. Their government, the Etanian Order, devoted enormous resources to military power. Nearly half of their economic output was poured into shipbuilding, weapons research, conscription infrastructure, and territorial campaigns. Factories forged cruisers before civilian transports. Orbital yards launched warships in endless succession. Entire cities existed only to support the fleet. Service was mandatory. Every young adult served. Every family sacrificed. Every generation lost sons and daughters to campaigns fought beneath distant suns. The Etanians did not merely accept this, they glorified it. Monuments to the fallen lined their capital, black stone towers engraved with the names of soldiers lost in conquest. Victory parades thundered through the avenues of Etania Prime. Children grew up dreaming not of artistry or science, but of command. Yet even empire has a cost. Families learned to live with empty seats at the evening meal. Parents learned to carry pride and grief in the same breath. And still the campaigns continued. Because conquest had become identity. It was during preparations for one of their largest military offensives that history changed forever. The target was a prosperous colony world near the border of a rival system, rich in mineral resources, strategically positioned, well defended. The High Command projected a difficult campaign, heavy orbital resistance, ground warfare, high casualties, acceptable losses. Thousands would die, perhaps tens of thousands. Fleet after fleet assembled above Etania Prime. The sky over the homeworld glittered with ships, cruisers, assault carriers, troop transports, destroyers, a steel armada stretching so far that it seemed to become a second ring around the planet. On the bridge of the flagship Dominion Spear stood Supreme Marshal Voltaran, broad-shouldered, imposing, dressed in layered black command robes and military armor. His face, ridged and severe, carried the stillness of someone long familiar with war. His presence alone silenced a room. A tactical officer spoke. Projected casualties for first wave assault, 32,000. Vil did not react. Such numbers had long since become ordinary. Proceed, he said. And so the fleet entered warp, a river of black iron crossing the stars. Days later, as the armada approached the target system, sensors detected something unexpected. Ships, hundreds of them, civilian vessels, freighters, shuttles, emergency transports, all fleeing. At first, Vil assumed word of the invasion had spread. Fear, panic, surrender, but something about it felt wrong. A young sensor officer studied the readings. Marshal, these are not military withdrawals. Vil turned. Explain family signatures, medical units, children aboard. The bridge fell silent. This was evacuation, not retreat. Raise planetary scans. The image appeared, and there it was. A massive asteroid, a mountain of stone, on direct collision course with the planet. Impact imminent. The Etanian fleet slowed. For a long moment, no one spoke. Thousands of soldiers had crossed sectors prepared to die, and yet the world was emptying itself. No battle, no resistance, No bloodshed. The sky was doing what armies had always done. By the time they entered orbit, the world below had been fully abandoned. Its cities still glowed. Vehicles remained motionless in streets. Homes were illuminated. Tables still set. Public squares deserted. Children's playthings scattered beneath alien trees. The world felt haunted, not conquered, abandoned. Then the asteroid struck. A brilliant white plume erupted across the night side of the planet. A second sun. Then fire. Shockwaves raced across continents. Atmosphere churned. Oceans rose. Cities vanished beneath flame and ash. Every officer on the bridge stood motionless. Veal stared at the burning world, then spoke quietly. We crossed half the quadrant to do what the sky accomplished in a single night. The return to Etania Prime was unlike any campaign in memory. No casualty lists, no funerals, no mourning towers receiving new names. The High Council assembled immediately. Veal recounted everything: the fleeing ships, the abandoned world, the asteroid, the effortless conquest. Silence filled the chamber. Then a counselor leaned forward. A woman, Counselor Saris Van, sharp-eyed, composed, draped in black ceremonial robes edged in silver. Her voice was cool, intelligent, and dangerous. No casualties, none, Veal replied. And the system is now open to occupation. Yes. She let the silence linger, then asked the question that changed Etanian civilization forever. Then why do we spend so much on war? The room became still. It was not merely a question, it was revelation. Why sacrifice lives? Why bleed generations? Why devote half a civilization's wealth to conquest, when fear could do it for them? In the years that followed, Etanian society transformed. Conscription diminished. Military casualties dropped to almost nothing. Families rejoiced. No more endless mourning. No more generations sacrificed. But peace did not come. Instead, conquest evolved. Resources shifted from soldiers to science, orbital engineering, gravitic propulsion, asteroid guidance systems, deep space drone arrays. The Etanians learned to redirect natural asteroid fields, to install concealed propulsion systems inside barren rock, to nudge mountains through the stars. A world need only believe disaster was coming. The population would flee. The Etanians would arrive after. No war, no losses, no resistance. World after world, system after system. The empire expanded faster than ever before. They convinced themselves this was mercy. No Etanian lives lost. No open warfare. But it was still conquest, only quieter, more efficient, more terrifying. The sky itself had become their army. And so remember, sometimes the most dangerous civilizations are not those that wage open war, but those that remain safely on their home world, and learn to let the stars do it for them. And now, the Interstellar Sleep Archives closes for another night. Did you enjoy this bedtime story? If so, consider liking the video and subscribing to the archives. It helps ensure that more stories like this continue to reach you. If not, tune in again tomorrow. The Interstellar Sleep Archives contains many more tales. The next tale may intrigue, fascinate, or simply lull you to sleep. And now, the Archivist seeks your guidance. Tell me, which civilization should we explore next? The Gorn, who pursue an enemy relentlessly? The world of Star Trek, The Next Generation, where our custom dictates that men expose at least one nipple? Or the Cryosians, who pin their hopes for peace on the birth of a special child? Choose carefully. After all, every story you hear is shaping you, whether you notice it or not. Sleep well, fellow travelers.